And we are live. Peace, 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 peace. Like my family, welcome to another episode of Knowledge Radio, place where knowledge is born. This is your host, Knowledge Born Online. We got Philly's own. We got a chart topper. We got a rhyme slayer. We got a Mike Assassin. When you think about lyrics, you understand. You got Cass in the building, man. Peace to the family, man. Peace to you, God. How you, Cass? How you feeling today, brother?
I'm not looking all groovy.
Can you hear me?
Groove truth. Hmm?
Mic check, mic check. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Mic check, mic check. Can you hear me? Mic check, mic check. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Mic check, mic check. Can you hear me?
Everything good?
Can you hear me?
All right, ball.
So now she following her. I thought she was shooter.
Mm-hmm.
Mic check, mic check. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. All right. Pardon the technical difficulties. We live. One of the greatest to ever touch the mic. A lyrical swordsman. Always keeping his skills sharp and catching bodies out here in the street. He like 50,000 and oh. So let me welcome to the microphone and to the show here on Do the Knowledge Radio. My brother, Philly's own Cassidy in the building. Cass, what's good with you, King?
You ball. Thanks for having me.
Love, it's all love. You know what I'm saying? Just taking a look back, you know, you had an extensive career with some of the greatest collaboration on this side of hip hop. So for you, could you share with us some of your biggest takeaways from this illustrious this long that you done had?
Um, that's a hard question to answer because I work with so many people. I've been doing it for like 20 years. So, it's been different time periods, different people I done work with throughout my career. So, I actually did an Instagram one day when I tried to write it down and name all of the people that I work with. And the list was so long that I couldn't even do it in one Instagram. So, you know what I mean? And all of them is important for different reasons. So, I mean, it's a hard question to answer. You heard? Yo,
Mic check. Yeah, yeah, can you hear me?
yeah, okay, you now. What happened?
Mic check, can you hear me?
It's like you going in and out.
Mic check, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, this joint acting up a little bit. I was saying, over, like this past 20 years, I was like, what are some of the lessons that you learned over the years, about you in this career, and like what were some of your keys to being having longevity in the game?
To have longevity, you got to put in work. You know what I mean? 99% of the artists that do music don't work hard. They just expect it to come easy. And in order to reap the benefits and become successful, you got to work hard. And a lot of people think working hard is just writing one rap every week. They think that's working hard. Some people think writing a rap once a month is working hard. Everybody working hard is different, but you got to really work hard. Like people that work 9 to 5s and get minimum wage work 8 hours a day. So you got to at least be willing to put that amount of time in if you want to be a millionaire, travel the world, and be successful and all of those things. And that's a lot of the that's what a lot of the artists that's in the game is lacking: work ethic.
Now, looking at your contemporaries coming in the game, your measure of success, like you came in a tumultuous time, but also like a redefining time for Philly. You see what I'm saying? It was like golden era Philly all over again. So how much of that grit did you kind of carry with you through the game?
Um, I believe every artist, wherever they from, the city that they grew up at, gonna play a huge part in what they bring to the table and what they gotta say. So, you know what I mean? Philly definitely played a huge part in the type of artist I am. Even just the vocabulary I use, the words I use, my accent, the way I'm able to pronounce words.
Mm.
Just a lot of the shit I was able to learn about and know from being in the streets of Philadelphia all played a part in me being the artist that I am.
Now, can we talk battle rap for a second? Like, there's a mold that's created in regards to your style of rhyming and what you brought to the game as an artist. You see what I'm saying? Like, so how did you see that kind of grow and progress along what we know today is battle rap? Because everybody had a season. It was a season in the '90s. It was a season in the early 2000s and forward. So, what's kind of like your view on everything that has been taking place as far as that's concerned?
Um, well, I pretty much birthed battle rap, the type of battle rap that y'all see nowadays. It's like I'm responsible for that. I birthed that. Like I made it popular. I made people want to see it and demand to keep seeing it. So that's how these leagues was able to start. That's how all these battle rappers was able to start making careers from off the wave that I created. So I'm happy that it's growing. I'm happy people able to get money now. They able to turn it into a business. It's not a big business like the industry is, but it's growing. You know what I'm saying? People able to get checks, able to get a lot of fans, and you know what I mean, please a lot of people with coming with lyrics and being competitive. So I'm happy it's growing. I'm happy and more people getting interested in the science and just understanding bars, metaphors, similes, um, how to structure a verse and how to be competitive. People starting to understand it a little better. And every day that passes, they understanding it more and more. So that's what I'm happy about. I'm happy that it's growing. It's continuing to grow and people continuing to be interested in it. Because that's my favorite part of hip hop, battle rap, being competitive.
Mm. Yeah, that's kind of remember, anybody out here that that came up in that time and remember that classic battle with you and Freeway. You see what I'm saying? So how much of that industry stuff you became like a Mike Tyson. You understand what I'm saying? How much of that industry stuff kind of came through to where, cats wanted to battle you when they seen you, and how did you kind of deal with some of that stuff?
Um, that was my life, man. I started off running through whoever raps. So, you know what I mean? It wasn't too much of cats wanting to battle me. It was pretty much me wanting to battle everybody else. And I was in that mode until I got a
Mm.
record deal and got an opportunity to get a budget. start making money and recording. Once I started doing that, then I ain't had no need to battle no more. But I was always ready. I was always on go mode from the beginning. And the bigger your name get, the more people hear about you ripping people heads off, the more interest you gain, the more people gonna want to be around you or be in your energy because they heard about you. So, you know what I mean? I started just in my city, started to get more known around my city, all through my city. And then after it was from my city, I just took the world by storm and it just
On right now.
um it's a big world, but I also learned that it's a small world at the same time. It's a lot of different things in all of the parts of the world that I've been to. A lot of things that you could see, learn. Culture is different. The way people look is different. There's a lot of things that's different. But it's a lot of things that's the same too. Like a lot of things that's pretty much the same no matter where you go, what part of the world you at. Um, People gonna be people. So um, it is a good thing though to have a type of job or career that lets you be able to see the world. Some people probably never even left the state they from, or left the East Coast or the West Coast before. You know what I mean? Some people be locked in to where they was born. So to be able to see the world, not in a movie or on the internet, but in real life, it definitely opened up your mind and make you a better person.
Yeah, I was overseas. So what was that like touring for you overseas, going spots where cats ain't speak no English and know every words of your song? You understand what I'm saying? Did you have a moment where you was just looking like, damn, like they really fucking with my shit? Like, you see what I'm saying? What was that like for you? Leaving out, going, you know what I'm saying, and then rocking the mic. You see what I'm saying? Like cats going crazy with your joints. You understand what I'm saying? What was that, feeling like for you?
Nah, that's a beautiful experience, man. I actually went through a country before, and the dude told me he learned how to speak English because of my raps. He used to hear my music, and he didn't understand English, but he used to see my facial expressions and my body language and knew that I was serious. And he thought that I was so serious that he wanted to understand what I was saying. He wanted to know exactly what I was saying. So he went and learned English. And when I met him, he was speaking English fluently and he knew all my raps. But he was saying the reason why he learned English was because of me rapping. So, you know what I mean? That's things that I experienced. And it's a blessing, man, to be able to touch people that don't even speak the same language as you because it's something you love to do. That's a blessing.
Words. So you definitely been like a major contributor to the craft of MCing, the subsection of MCing in regards to lyricism. You see what I'm saying, and then the culture as a whole. So looking at the situations nowadays with the youngest coming up, what kind of advice would you give to the younger MCs that are coming up in the craft, coming up in the game? That you learned that you wish somebody would have told you when you was coming up.
Um, See me, I believe everything happened for a reason, so I don't wish nobody would have told me nothing. I want everything to happen exactly how it happened because that's how it was supposed to go. But if I ever came in contact with one of these new young boys, I would just tell them, like I told you earlier, work hard, take it serious, and decide what you in it for. If you in it because you love it and you in it for the culture and you want to just be one of the dopest or one of the nicest or you want to make history in some way because of the culture and you just love it, or if you just in it for the business side and you just in it to make money. And you got to determine that from the beginning because that'll help you make the best decisions and go in the best direction. Some people be confused, but if you in it for the business, then you need to make all business decisions. And if you in it for the culture, then you need to stick to the culture and say fuck the business and make all decisions based off that. So that's what artists need to figure out from the beginning before they do anything, before they make any song. Just figure out what you're getting in it for.
I think early on you made one of the hottest spin-offs in the joint, the club banger. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, you would have said, yeah. What he said? Yeah, I sampled your voice. You was using it wrong. You made it a hot line. I made it a hot song. That come back
Yeah.
around. You know what I'm saying? Like that was like one of the craziest shit ever. I was overseas when that came out, and cats was losing their mind. You know what I mean? Like
Wow.
this. That's the spot. You know the spots don't close over there. You over there like the joint hitting to like 8 o'clock in the morning. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that kind of presence over there was like an education in itself. You see what I'm
Where you
saying?
was at?
I was in Germany. I was in a couple other places. You know what I'm saying? Overseas too. You see what I'm saying? Doing my thing out there. So yeah, that was a crazy ass time. You see what I'm
What's up?
saying?
That's what's up, man.
Did you think that at that particular time that this was going to be like one of these joints? Was this going to be it? You see what I'm saying for you? Or when did you get into that space like I am that? You see what I'm saying? That transition from what you was doing in the streets to what you was doing in the industry.
Um, well, by the time I'm a Hustler dropped, that was my second album. I
Mm-hmm.
was already by the time the I'm a Hustler album dropped, I was already certified platinum. I was already like a lit artist. So I knew that I could do it at that point. You know what I'm saying? But uh, I mean, I always knew that I was nice and I was going to blow. But I started to understand the business and learn how the business worked, and learn that the business not based off who make the best songs. It's based off a lot of other things. So you could make a weak song, but if a
Mm,
lot of things is in line, the song could blow up. And you could make one of the best songs in the world, but if you don't got things in line, people might not hear it and it might not be successful. So I understand how that go. Sometimes artists' biggest hits might not be their best song or their most creative song or the hardest song for them to write. Sometimes it just had the most money behind it and the most people believed in it and was pushing it at the time. So I
mm,
understood how that went. So I really wasn't focused on whether I could make a hit or not, because I knew that I was dope and nobody could write better than me. So if that's the case, then I can continue to make a hit. I'm gonna be able to continue to impress people if I could write better than everybody else. So that was my main
mm.
focus.
It was with a pack of lions too. You know what I'm saying? I kind of first introduction to you on Rough Rider 3. You see what I'm saying? Like everything was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like so um if we talking collabs, like what was some of your favorite collabs that you could share? Like some of your favorite collabs and some of your favorite, studio sessions.
Um, that's hard, man. I appreciate all my collabs for different reasons. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really too much. I wasn't really too much fanned out, like, you know what I mean, from nobody. But I'm a fan of everybody. So, you know what I mean? For
Mm,
different reasons, I appreciate all of the features I did. I wouldn't want to put no one person over top of another person because they all matter. You know what I mean? And I did records with legends that's in the Hall of Fame. That's like, you know what I mean? That the majority of the world feel as though it's dope. And I did songs with a lot of those people. So it'd be hard for me to just name somebody. You know what I mean?
right. So what about studio sessions? You ever been in a
But if
session?
anybody tuned in, all they got to do is go to any platform they got, or go to YouTube and type in Cassidy featuring, and you'll just see how many songs pop up, how many artists I work with through the years, and how much work I've been putting in.
Or you ever work with anybody made you do a rewrite?
Nah, I most of the time be writing for people, so
Mm,
um, I be writing for them. There's no way nobody gonna make me do a rewrite because I never been in the studio with nobody that could write better than me.
mm. So you got a couple of joints out right now. Is there another project in the works, or anything like that coming up that we should be on the lookout for?
Yeah, I got new music on every platform. I drop new music every week. So I constantly put music out just to feed the crowd. I should be in the Guinness Book of Records. I probably dropped the most music more than anybody. So,
Mm,
you know what I mean? All my music ain't through the machine. It ain't all gonna be like publicized like y'all remember Hotel where I'm a Hustler was.
right.
All of my music don't got them same type of budgets. But all of my music is just as nice and just as hot. So my fan base always supporting, and on all platforms I got a lot of new music. My last project I dropped was called Numbers. And it's crazy. It destroyed the streets. A bunch of dope bunch of dope songs on that album, on that project. It was 14 songs, and then for the next 14 days after I dropped it, I released a single. So altogether, it was 28 songs on that project. I'm working on a new project right now called Bars and Beats. It's a project that I'm gonna produce 100% of it, and I'm gonna write 100% of it. So I got a
Mm.
lot of new music up on all platforms now that I produced and I'm rapping to. So that's what I'm working on right now.
Yeah, I saw on one of your lives you was fucking around with the production. You see what I'm saying? So it's glad to for me to see that kind of range. You see what I'm saying? From an artist to producer to these moves that you making. You see what I'm saying? To you know be kind of self sufficient and control your push. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
that's a beautiful thing to be able to do it all.
right. So you got a book. Is it the book coming out? Is it something that's where we gonna be able to hear your story?
Oh, of course. I got books coming, documentaries coming, movies coming, uh, a lot of things coming, man. I'm working on a lot of things, but I've been in the game for so long that I don't like to prematurely talk about things. I just like to show up.
That's real.
And there's so many things that I already recently did that we ain't even touch on yet. That sometimes I be moving too fast and I be needing people to catch up. So
Mm,
I'm constantly working, I'm constantly doing stuff, and I'm constantly creating. I never stop, man. I think I work harder than anybody I ever came in contact with in the industry. And there's some hard workers, but none of them stay up like me and put in work like me and constantly go. This whole lockdown and quarantine, I've been dropping a lot of stuff on social media too. A lot of quarantine bars and freestyles and challenges and things like that just to keep the people entertained. And
mm,
I've been going so hard. It's like I got 20 years in and I've been even more consistent than the young boys. So
right.
I mean, I'm just trying to show people that this work ethic pay off and you can get in the position you want to be in if you just work hard, not fall in line and be a slave and a follower, but you could be a leader and work hard. And no matter how long it take, whether it take a year, 10 years, or 30 years, you're willing to put in the work and work as hard as you need to work until you get in the position that you want to be in. And a lot of people can do it, but they just don't got no examples and they don't think that's the way you need to go. So I just want to lead by example, and that's what I'm doing.
I heard a joint recently called The Elements, and you took us on like on a hip hop excursion. You see what I'm saying? Through the bars. You see, so you took us back to Slick Rick with it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's called The Four Elements. It's a new record I
Mm,
put together that I produced too. That's one of the records that's on the Bars and Beats album that I produced. But it's just giving the young boys a little lesson on the history of hip hop and just reinforming the people that already know and live through it. Because sometimes you could forget, or you know what I mean, you could not forget, but sometimes out of sight, out of mind. So when the older rappers that you fell in love with, if they not putting out no music and you're not aware of them at the time, sometimes you forget the impact that they made at certain points. So that's what I
right.
wanted to go through and also show the impact that they made on me to become the artist I am. And I just don't hear a lot of songs like that. Songs like that is the reason why I fell in love with hip hop. Those is the type of songs that people used to try to make back in the day. But nowadays you don't hear songs like that, concepts like that. You don't get songs where you can learn and get schooled on and
Right.
and you know what I mean, drop so many gems in one record. So that's the reason why I wanted to put the song like that together. And I was saying it's all about hip hop because that's what it represents, the four elements. And a lot of people not a part of the hip hop culture, they just rappers. You know what I mean? And I wanted people to know what the culture represented before the business, before it was even a business and all of the money makers and the check cutters started getting involved. Before that, it was based off the four elements, and it's gonna always be, regardless of how big the business get. Those um original things are never gonna go nowhere. Things might get added to it, and you know what I
Right.
mean, might change in different ways, but the original rules is always going to stick around and be a part of what it is because that's the culture.
I had a question from my brother Psycho. He asked, "Did you get a lot of comparisons to Big L?"
Um, nah, not really. Like I came right after like Big L, and like by the time I was running through New York and all of the places where Big L was at, it was like right after his time, like right after he passed away. So, um, and Big L, um, was real underrated while he was alive. It's like people ain't realize he was how dope he was until after he died. So after he died, people started really breaking down his lyrics and started hearing how he was piecing up and punching. And that's when, you know what I mean, his reputation kind of grew after he passed. So after he passed and people started to learn about how nice Big L was outside of Harlem and the people that already knew.
Right.
And then I started to do my thing and I was known as a puncher. People did compare us later on, but in the beginning, not so much.
Definitely in that lyricism category. I just had Rest Cats on here yesterday. You see what I'm saying? And for the West, it wasn't really, you know, lyric driven, but he definitely in that lyricist category. You see what I'm saying? So, to follow up with you today, you see what I'm saying? In regards to that category of keeping that sword sharp, you see what I'm saying? You mentioned work ethic. Like, what's another continued motivation for you to continue to create content in the time, especially lyrically heavy, where lyrics ain't really celebrated no more like they used to be.
Um, I disagree. I believe they celebrated the same. It's just
Mm-hmm.
it's a business now, and the check cutters is responsible for who get the light at the time. And at certain times, they might give people the light that might not necessarily be the dopest or the most lyrical because it's a business and they trying to make money. So if we trying to dance and party and not really listen to lyrics, then at that point in time, you could sign artists that might not be lyrical. But the world don't understand how the business works, so the world would just assume that those are the best people in the world, and this is the best form of music that you could make at the time. When that don't necessarily be true. And there was always people around that love lyrics. Some of the people that wrote the first lyrics, like the first song that went out, Grandmaster Cass, he's still alive. Like he's still alive now. So the original lyricists, the people that started from the beginning, we had a lot of them pass, but a lot of them are still living. So those people never stopped loving lyrics. And then there was people born after them like me who came up just in love with lyrics and never stopped. And there's millions and millions and millions of other people that's all like us around the world. But just because the attention is not on them at the time don't mean that they don't exist. They definitely exist and they heavy and they're around the world. And that's why we need to give them more material and more music. The game don't just go in one direction. Is a lot of sides to it, and you got to please the people that want to be entertained with lyrics and want to hear bars and want to learn. You got to give them some music too. Now it's billions of people in the world. Everybody ain't the same. Everybody not gonna want to hear lyrics. Everybody not even smart enough to even understand lyrics. That's one thing you got to understand. So everybody not gonna want the same thing. So you should have music for those people too, the watered down form of rap where you're not really too lyrical. It's real simple and easy to understand. That's for those people. But you can't say that that's the best form of music and that's the only thing that y'all gonna bring to the table when there's millions and millions of people that like other stuff too.
So what's your message to the fans, to the supporters, to the people who've been rocking with you? You know what I'm saying, over this 20 years, as we rap, and also where people can find you and support you.
Um, just all the people out there, man. If you an artist or you an entertainer, just keep grinding, man. Step it up. If you feel like you work on as hard as you can, work even harder than that. Stay on your job and believe in yourself more than anybody else. Don't wait for other people to believe in you first before you start believing in yourself, because then it's never gonna go right. God, believe in yourself first and foremost. And it might be a time when nobody in the world seems like they believe in you, but you still gotta believe in yourself and fight through it. And on if you want to get in contact with me for business, as far as features or booking shows, it's shitlitty at Gmail. SHITLITTY at Gmail. Everybody tuned. Then go to my webpage for my merchandise, all my clothes, all my dad hats, my snapbacks, hoodies, jackets, all of the merchandise. You could go to the webpage. It's www.CassidyTheHustler.com. CassidyDahustla.com. That's where all the merchandise at. It's a lit site. Plus, I got all my new videos, and I'm gonna keep you updated with what I got going on. And another way to get in contact with me to do business or to just stay in tune with what I got going on is social media. My social media, Instagram, Twitter, and all that is Cassidy underscore Larceny underscore LARSINY. I'm verified blue check, so y'all know it's official. And those are the best ways to get at me.
Well, we definitely appreciate your time and look forward to everything that you got in store for us. You see what I'm saying? Wish you the most success, and continue to do your thing out here.
Nah, I appreciate the love, bro. Keep doing your thing too. Until the next time.
All right.
Salute.